everyone, my name's Becca and I'm a second year student nurse at the University of Nottingham. Welcome back to my channel, and if you've never seen a video of mine before, then welcome. To be fair, I should probably say welcome to everybody, seeing as I've not uploaded a video in a while. The last video I uploaded was a long day of placement, a day in the life, and that was over a month ago. I'm very sorry. After this placement I went back to uni, had my Christmas break, and I started back at uni 2 weeks ago, and it's getting to me a little bit. It's been very hard. Second year is a lot harder than first year, and I'm just trying to keep my head above water without drowning. But now I've had my exam, I'm in the middle of writing my assignments, and I feel a lot better. So I'm back here with another video. I'm going to be doing a year review of my degree. So I'm going to be going through every single month of 2019 and talking about what I did with my degree in that month. So obviously the first month of the year is January, and in January I was still in my first year. It's hard to think back to first year now. It just seems like such a long time ago. So in January 2019 I did my first medicine management exam. It was the maths exam, and you needed to get 100% to pass. I think we had to wait like 3 weeks for our results, but I was pretty confident that I was going to pass. I passed all of the practice exams, and I've always been quite good with maths. It wasn't that difficult, so I was very pleased when I got my pass back for that. I also did my first 3 OSCEs. So the OSCEs are the practice exams that we have to do. So I had to do hand hygiene, basic life support, and also first aid. In my first aid I got a fracture, so I had to put on a sling for somebody, and then I also got an adult for my basic life support, so I had to do CPR on an adult dummy. And then obviously the hand hygiene is the 7 steps. I found out on that day that I passed all 3, so that was great. It was the first week back at uni after Christmas, and I passed all of my exams, so that was great. Next, in January, I started my first ever placement as a student nurse, which was really scary. I have a video coming up in a few weeks about all of my placements from first year. I just haven't done it yet because I was a little bit nervous about what I would say about each of them. I don't want to break any confidentiality rules, so I'm still trying to go through what I'm going to share about them. But my first placement was on a stroke rehab ward, and it was very scary because I'd never worked in care before. I learnt so much while I was there, and everyone was so lovely, and I also got my first 2 nursing milestones. The first milestone was just that I started my first ever placement, so it says the name of the ward on the back, which I'm not going to give away for confidentiality reasons. Stroke rehab unit at NUH. I'm not going to say which hospital. It was from the 15th of January 2019 to the 22nd of February 2019, which was my birthday, and then it also has the name of my mentors on the back as well. And the second one, it's today I participated in wound care. Also on my first day, the 15th of January, I was assisted by Rivers, who is a 3rd year student. He taught me about the aseptic technique and also helped me to learn how to change wound dressings and how to assess a wound. So in February I got my 3rd nursing milestone. Alright. So today I measured somebody's blood pressure for the first time. Well, it was actually my first manual blood pressure on a patient. We learned how to do manual blood pressure while we were at uni because we had an exam for it later on in the year. But this was my first time doing manual blood pressure on an actual patient, and it was on the 3rd of February 2019. Also in February I finished my first ever placement. My last day was actually the 21st of February because the 22nd was my birthday, so they let me finish the day before. And in that placement I got to complete my enteral feeding package, which was absolutely amazing. A lot of people don't normally get to do it, and they normally have to do an exam at school, but because I was on stroke rehab, a lot of people had NG tubes and stuff, so I became quite confident in doing enteral feeding, so I got that signed off while I was there. In March I completed and submitted my first 2 summative assessments, which was really scary because all of the assessments that I had done prior were formative, so they didn't actually go towards my module grades, they were practice. But I handed in my first 2 summative ones, which was a patchwork 2, which was all about communication, and then also professional learning for nursing as well. And also in March I worked my first ever shift as a student ambassador for the School of Nursing. I did the student nurse interviews, and I did the child field ones. And then I also started my next placement in interventional radiology. Interventional radiology was so interesting, and I got to spend every single day in theatres, and I got to wear scrubs every single day. It was so nice, and all of the staff were amazing. I also got to do some amazing insight visits while I was there. This is my 4th nursing milestone. From the 26th of March, I wore scrubs for the first time. It was my first day in interventional radiology. I observed 2 fistuloplasties, did observations during surgery. I observed a chest drain, a nephrostomy tube change, and a nephrostomy. April, I got to attend a radiology QIE, which is a quality improvement event, with the team that I was on placement with. So the radiology teams from both of the hospitals in the trust got together, and they spoke about everything that was going on in the radiology department and all of the amazing stuff that they have been doing and that is coming in the future. That was an amazing opportunity for me because I got to learn about all of the exciting things that are coming to our trust. I also did 2 insight visits this month, and they were absolutely amazing. Both of them are areas that I think I'm quite interested in maybe specialising in the future. So that was haematology and cardiology. Both of the insights are absolutely amazing, and I would recommend them to any student. Also in April, because this placement was only 4 weeks, I finished my 2nd placement for the year, and every single time that I got to complete something on my OAR, I just got so much more excited because the percentage level kept getting higher and higher. So the closer I was to finishing my entire year of placements, it was so exciting to me. I also handed in my next assignment, which was another learning for nursing, and it just felt like lots more pressure was relieved from my shoulders because I was having less and less assignments to be handed in. So it felt very amazing to be able to keep handing stuff in. I also, at the end of April, started my last ever placement for first year, which was on the community, and I absolutely fell in love with it. I always got mixed reviews from past students. Some said that they hated it, some said they loved it, and I didn't think I was going to enjoy it that much, but I absolutely fell in love with the community, and it's definitely an area that I think that I might go into later on in my career. My next nursing milestone was from the 30th of April. It says, today I mastered a new clinical skill. Today I learned how to bandage a leg on my own, toe to knee, which is toes to nose, with a 50% overlap. In May, I got to experience working on triage in the community. So I got to sit in the rooms where they get the phone calls from the patient. I got to wear a little headset. I felt a little bit like Britney Spears, but then also like I was on one of those programs, like the A&E programs and the ambulance programs where they're like, hello, 999. I felt like so cool, and it was a really good experience to be able to do triage as well as going out to people's houses as well. In May, I did my bladder scanner training. A person from the bladder scanner company came in and trained all of the staff up because they got new bladder scanners. So I got to also participate in the training, which meant that I could then do some bladder scans while we were out in practice as well. So I got to do my first ever evening shift. It wasn't quite a night shift. I'm saving that milestone for a proper night shift. So on community, the community nurses tend to stop working at 6 o'clock, but they always have an out of hours team. I got to work with the out of hours team for the night, but it wasn't the entire night because we were kind of sitting around waiting for somebody to call us up, but they didn't call us up, so we were kind of just waiting. It wasn't quite a night shift, but it wasn't quite a day shift. It was kind of like a twilight, kind of like in the middle kind of shift. It was quite interesting, but it was a little bit boring because we were sat around waiting for a while, but it was still a very good experience to have. Finally, in May, I also got to work with the community specialist diabetes nurse. She let me come with her to the clinic all day, and she was absolutely amazing. I learned so much about type 2 diabetes that I didn't even know about, and she was so good. She gave me so many leaflets and stuff for me to take with me. I still have loads of the stuff that she gave me that I can give out to patients or I give out to my friends. I let my friends read a few of them, but also they're quite good for my research as well. One of my friends is doing her dissertation on diabetes, so I will probably hand them over to her because they'll probably be a lot more helpful to her than they are to me at the moment. June was a crazy month. So in June, I completed all of my placements for my first year. So my OAR said 100% completed, and I was like, wow, that's like one thing left. I don't have anything else left to do. I already have handed in all of my assignments. Now all of my placements are done. I am done. I handed in my final 2 assignments, and that was it. And my final nursing milestone for my first year was from the 21st of June. Today I passed my first year. Last seminar, Biosciences 10, Genetics with Thomas Stackpole, which was one of my favourites for the entire year, was a pretty good one to finish. First year was completed. I cannot believe that I have completed my first year as a student nurse. The week after I completed my first year, I did an open day for the university, so it was very nice. People kept coming and they were like, oh, what year are you? I'm like, well, technically I'm a second year now, and I felt really smug, and it was really nice because I just finished my entire first year, and then a lot of the people who were coming would have been coming in becoming first years the next September, so it was really nice being able to go through my entire first year and being able to share my experience with them, considering that I had just completed the entire of my first year. I could not believe it. In July, I didn't really do anything with my degree because it was my summer holiday, so I just chilled at home with my family, had a whale of a time. August was also my summer holiday. I went away with my family, but it is also the month that we moved into our second year house. In September, before officially starting my second year, I did another open day for the university. It was really great because I had had some time off, but I came back, and it was nice just before I started my second year to be able to go and share my experiences again of being a first year. Also in September, I officially became a second year student. I had my first lecture as a second year student, and it was terrifying because now we are talking about the real deal. This is the first year that counts towards your final degree. At the end of this year, I'll know if I'll get a first or not pretty much in my third year. So that was pretty scary. We were talking about dissertations on day 2 because we have a new module as part of the Future Nurse curriculum to do the proposal for our dissertation now. So it was really scary that on our second day we were talking dissertations, but I was also very excited. Was very excited to be starting the Future Nurse curriculum. We got to jump onto the second year, so we didn't have to do the first year. We're just doing the second and the third year, so we will be the first people from my university to graduate with the Future Nurse curriculum. The first week of uni, I got stuck in a corridor with my friends during a fire alarm. It was very scary. We thought we were going to die. We tried to evacuate, but one of the lecturers told us no, so we just had to sit in this corridor and kind of wait for death. And then later on in the week, we couldn't even get into the hospital because of a fire alarm. We were late to our lecture because we were made to stand outside the hospital. They literally would not let us in while the fire alarm was going off. Don't know what was going on in the hospital that week, but there was too much fire going on. It needed to stop. So, obviously September's was Freshers Week. Freshers Week means that there is loads of brands on the university campus, and seeing as we now live on the opposite side of campus, some days we decided to walk home. Me and Ashley decided to walk home one day and McDonald's were on campus. Absolute bonus. Giving out free McFlurries. So we got free McFlurries on our way home, which was absolutely amazing. I also went to the first social for the Harry Potter Society that year, and I got sorted into my house. I am a proud Hufflepuff. Not like I'm surprised. I was pretty certain that I was going to be a Hufflepuff anyway. October was probably by far one of my favourite months of 2019. It was probably one of the best months for my degree personally. Everything was just amazing. I absolutely loved October. Firstly, I became a digital ambassador for the university, and I had my first meeting with them where we had our headshots taken and we got free donuts from Donuts. Oh, I love Donuts. I just love donuts, full stop. So we got free donuts. Perfect. I also joined the Uniboob team, and it's probably one of the best decisions I've ever made. Myself and my housemate Talia sold glitter at Rock City Crisis for the Uniboob team to raise money for Copperfield. I did another shift as a student ambassador working a student nurse open day. I handed in my first formative assignments, and I also started my first placement for second year, which has turned out to be my best placement so far, healthcare of the elderly in a dementia ward. I also did the graduate entry nursing interviews as well as a student ambassador. In November, I did my first Instagram story for the University of Nottingham for World Kindness Day. I shared something that happened while I was on placement one day, and it was put on the Instagram story along with some other students' experiences as well for World Kindness Day. I achieved 3 new nursing milestones. On the 5th of the 11th, I removed cannulas by myself. I removed 2 cannulas absolutely by myself. On the 8th of November, I worked autonomously for the first time. I got given 4 patients to take care of, and I started to feel like a real nurse. And on the 14th of November, I got a gift from a family member. So we got 2 big boxes of biscuits for the people on my bay, and then also a few days later we got some cakes as well from a patient and his wife. Also in November, I finally got to meet my peer mentees for the first time. As you might know, I'm a peer mentor this year, and also I probably will be next year as well. So that means that I get a group of first years to just be there for them as like whenever they need anything. So I finally got to meet all of them, and it was a really great experience. Finally, December came around, and December was crazy. I finished my first placement for second year, and time is starting to go quite quickly now. I'm feeling very terrified about the real world. I started to feel like a real nurse on that placement, and I was so proud of myself for everything I did on that placement. But it also made me start to think about the future and the fact that I am going to be qualified in like 18 months. While on that placement, my assessor signed me off for my medicine management practical exam. So she had seen me given drugs lots of times, and also I did my official exam, and she asked me lots of questions as well, and she signed me off for my medicine management package, which means that I don't have to do the exam again this year, which is amazing. I have to still do the theory one, but my practical one is fine. I also finished my first term of my second year. Like I said before, time is going very fast. I can't believe that in January I was just starting my first ever placement as a student nurse, and now in December I have finished my first term as a second year student nurse. I'm almost halfway through my degree now, and I really can't believe it because it feels like yesterday that I was starting, when in reality, in the same amount of time that it's been from when I started my degree, I'm going to be qualifying as like a real nurse, and that is terrifying, but very exciting as well. So that was my 2019, my degree in review. I hope you enjoyed it and found it interesting to know what I got up to in my degree during the year of 2019. Thank you so much for being patient with me during this break, and thank you for coming back to my channel and watching this video. Also, thank you to the people who have subscribed since I've been gone. I have noticed that a few of you guys have joined since I've been gone. Hello, welcome to this new video. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe down below. Also hit the bell icon so you don't miss a single one of my videos. If there's anything particular that you want to see from me this year, then please put it in the comments down below. But please keep on sharing and please keep on liking. Tell your friends about it, and I will see you guys next week with another video. Goodbye! Bye!